art class today. All right. Take a piece of paper. It doesn't matter what size the paper is. It doesn't matter what type of the paper is. It can even have lines on it. It doesn't matter. It doesn't make any difference. It can be graph paper, whatever you like. Any kind of paper, tissue paper, whatever. With a graphite pencil, ordinary pencil, 9B if you have one, roughly draw a line from the top left about an inch away from the edge of the paper. Draw a margin line by drawing it down and then across to the right and then up and then across to the left, if you understand what I mean by that. You draw the line as a single line, just 1, 2, 3, 4, just like that. Down, right, up, left. Okay? Now, you're going to draw circles, and those circles need to be not exact, kind of off, a little bit slightly off, not exactly round. All different sizes. All different shapes of circles, all kinds of shapes, egg-shaped and pizza-shaped and whatever you want to do. All different sizes, different shapes. And you draw those inside those margin lines. However, you're allowed to draw parts of circles at the edges of the margin. Now, the easiest way to get those to look right is to ignore the margin when you draw and just draw right through the margin, and you'll figure that out. If you're kind of inclined in that way, that's okay to do that. But you will then have to somehow mat out the margin things. Now, the next thing you're going to do is, between the circles, and by the way, I would recommend you start with large circles and then make smaller. This is the better way to start. Make larger circles first, whatever your larger ones are going to be. And then make your smaller circles in the space between the larger circles. Now, you can't cross boundaries circle to circle. You can't crisscross those circles. They have to fit. It's like balloons. Think of them as fitting balloons into a box. Okay? They're balloons in a box. Then even smaller balloons, and then smaller balloons until you can no longer draw anything in these remaining crevices, which are going to be kind of triangular, ultimately. So now you have a little bit of airspace between those circles. So you're now going to take some black ink. India ink is excellent for this purpose. Sumia ink is great, but you can use anything. A marker, a magic marker, whatever you want to use, a jumbo Pentel, whatever, the Sharpie. Sharpie works great. So what you want to do is you want to make black those areas between those circles. And don't go outside the boundary of the margin. Don't color anything outside that. Do you understand? Don't put any ink outside that margin line. Do this until all of the triangles are dark, till everything is dark except for those circles. Now turn it sideways from the way that you drew it. Turn it sideways. Oh, you shouldn't turn it when you're drawing it, by the way. You should just, however it is however you draw the circles. Now you turn it sideways. And when you turn it sideways, you can turn it either counterclockwise or clockwise, either way, but only that far, just 90 degrees. Now, study it. All right. Remove it from the pad carefully so you preserve it. You don't want to wreck it. Now you draw another margin line going up from the left, from the lower left, goes up, goes right, goes down, and then goes left. So that will complete your margin line about an inch in from all of your edges, your paper edges. Now in there you're going to draw very uncarefully a whole bunch of circles, as uncarefully as you can possibly do it, but they must touch. They can't cross boundaries, but they must touch. And you're going to start with large ones and then get smaller and smaller and smaller. 3 times you get smaller. So start with large ones, then get smaller and smaller, then smaller. So it's a total of 4 different sizes of circles. Now there will be space between. Again, you're going to attack that with ink. And now you're going to turn that on its side, which is going to be the same as the first one, only upside down from that, let's say. Now, study that. Now on a third piece of paper, make a square that is 5 inches by 5 inches. You can take a CD cover, a CD case, and make a square right from that. Right in the middle of a piece of paper. Do the same thing in that square and color it in, and notice the difference when you work to a square than when you work to a rectangle. All right? All right, that's your exercise for today, your art exercise. I think you're going to like that. Oh, if you work on Bristol paper, you'll love it. Bristol, Bristol paper. You can get those in pads, and about 9 by 12 inch pad is perfect for that. Bristol or vellum, actually. Both will work.